Hello, anyone? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
All right, that's fantastic.
Okay, this
That's
is
nice to
my name
hear.
is Amos One. Hello?
Okay. Let's hear anybody
Hello?
else like to share their experience as well. Name and tell us. Yes, I can. I can. Go ahead. I hear you. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Hello.
He probably okay. For Amos, Abel, will you Oh, sorry, can everybody hear me? You hear me?
Yes, yes. I think your network is stable now. Yes.
Okay, so sorry about that. I was having network issues. Okay, all right. All right. So that we don't waste a lot of time getting to know each other, we're going to be doing that as probably as you answer questions, you just tell us it's about yourself, and we can move on from there. The moment you stop hearing me, please just let me know as well. Okay, so let's start with WordPress. All right, web design with WordPress. What exactly is web design, and what exactly is WordPress? All right. So when we're talking about WordPress, WordPress is basically just a it's a content management system. All right. What we mean by content management system is it just helps you manage your content. Now, content in terms of it can be, in terms of music, it can be in terms of words, it can be in terms of videos, any kind of content. All right. WordPress was built to manage it. But when WordPress Hello, so sorry once again. I just changed my network. I'm very sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
Okay. All right. So, like I was saying, WordPress basically is a content management system. It helps you manage your content. But originally, how WordPress started was it started as a blogging platform. So there was once upon a time where, everybody was blogging. All right. All you had to do was just put the name of your blog and then have WordPress.com. All right. WordPress was the go-to for that. People needed to blog. They needed, a place where they could write anything they needed to write about, their business, about how Lagos is treating them. All they needed to do was open up a blog for it, and they used WordPress to do that. But one of the things that WordPress did was it became open source. Now, the open source feature of WordPress means that they allowed for people to have an impact on WordPress. So people started creating extensions for WordPress. All right. These extensions allowed WordPress to accommodate other things such as web design and a whole lot more. Why today you can build a strong website using WordPress. All right. So Web design basically is just designing a website, all right? But when we talk about designing your website, one of the things I like to add is that the user is always the most important person. So you're designing a website with the user in mind. Like that's basically what you're doing with WordPress, with the user in mind. So the first question I actually have is, what are the types of users that we have when we're talking about web design? Like, what are the different types of users? All right, to help you answer that question, the first question I have is, you can all write it down because I'm just going to ask you randomly. What was the last website you visited? That's the first question. The second question is, what did you do there? That's going to answer, the type of user, that we have. So the first question is, what was the last website you visited? And the second question is, what did you do there? Okay, so let me start with Taiwo again. Taiwo, can you give us answer to those two questions?
Yes, actually, the last website that I visited is ASAP News, asapnews.com.ng. So actually, it's a kind of website that I'm trying to help a colleague of mine to manage.
Okay,
And the last thing I did there was to add contact form 7 to the blog
okay.
site.
Okay, no, not as a builder, not as a designer. I mean as a user. Like the last website, for example, the last website I visited was, for example, Jumia.com. And what did I
Okay,
do there? I went to buy something. So I'm a buyer, right? That's the user number one.
okay,
So also for
okay.
you as a user, what was the last website
Uh,
you visited?
actually, I can't remember the last time I actually used a particular website for probably to buy or something, but because I actually build, I train. She understand. So the
Yeah.
last thing I could just remember, when is it the last thing? So the only thing I could remember now is, okay, I just assisted somebody to add a contact form, to the website. But when it comes to what I actually did on the last website I visited, I can't remember that one for now.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to add that as well. Let's say for the second type of users we have the builder as well. Also very important. We are the builders, but we're going to add that as well. So that's number two. We have buyers, we have builders. Tofek Couture, can you tell us, do you have answers to our two questions? The last website you visited and what you did there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had the question.
Okay, what's the
So
question? Right.
basically, the last website I visited was a blog that was I wanted to learn how to do something, so I went there to check on how to make a curry sauce kind of thing. So it was a blog I visited, tasty.com. That that is the name of the website. So I went there to learn how to do something. That's the website I visited. Hello, can you hear me?
So sorry once again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, though the network is very fluctuating. I don't know what's happening.
So sorry about that. Okay, so let's move on from where we stopped. I'll try and fix that ahead of the next class. I'll just get a more stable network. Okay, so we're talking about the blog basically. Okay, you visited the blog to learn something, all right? So we can also take that as a user, all right? So as to visit the blog, basically you were a reader, that's one, and also you were a learner as well, because you were not just there to read, you wanted to learn something, all right? So now we talked about the builder, we talked about the buyer, we talked about the learner, we talked about the reader. Now, one of the reasons why all of these users are very important is because when you're building a website, you have to have these people in mind. Okay, for example, what do I mean? One other type of users that we have are the enquirers. Have you ever gone to a website before and we're looking to probably get a specific detail about a company? So for example, you want to get their phone number or you want to get their address, all right? So in that situation, have you ever gone to the website and you've been very frustrated? Like you've gone through the website, you've checked for the number, you can't see it at a glance. That's because that web designer did not put the inquirer in mind. So when you're building a website, you have to have all of these people in mind. Even as a shopper, all right? Another type of user is the window shoppers. There are people who go to shopping websites not to buy, to just check how it is, to window shop as well. All right, that's also allowed. So they're window shoppers, but your job is to make the website look enticing enough that they change their minds from, like it happens to everybody. You go to a store and then you didn't plan to spend any money, and all of a sudden you're changing your mind. All right. So when you're catering for window shoppers as well, you have to build your website in that way too. That when they come and see the website, they are tempted to want to buy. All right. So the first assignment, because this class is going to have a lot of assignments, it's going to have a lot of projects because that's the best way to learn. It's not necessarily about what you do in class, it's about what you do outside class. So I want everybody to just write 10 different types of web design users. All right, the 10 different types of web design users. They're different. You might not see it online this way, but you will see it online. So you can search anywhere. You can even ask yourself, when I visit the website, what kind of user am I? All right, so 10 different kinds of web design users that we have. That's your first assignment. All right, so what are the things that you're going to be learning from this course? First of all, you're going to learn how to build a website, any kind of website, from e-commerce websites. In case you run a business of your own and you want to build a website for yourself, all right, you're going to learn how to do that. All right, you're going to learn how to build websites for oil companies, for hospitals, any kind of website basically. All right, at the end of this project, you're going to have worked on 3 different websites. All right, that's the key. So you will be very confident that you know that yes, you can handle any kind of website. Also, you're going to be getting quality materials worth probably over 100,000 naira in and around WordPress for free. You're going to be getting it for free, which you can use to build even more websites for more customers that you get on your own. I'm also going to be showing you how you can probably profit from this skill, because it's one thing to learn how to, be skillful at something. It's another thing to actually profit from it. So you're also going to learn how you can make money from WordPress. Now, another thing that you're going to learn is a little bit of HTML and CSS, all right? It's very necessary when you're learning WordPress. HTML and CSS is basically web development. They're not programming languages per se, all right? They're just markup languages. I'm going to be telling you what all of those things are, all right? But before we get started, there's a website I want every single person to visit. You're going to visit it after the class. It's called localwp.com. You can just quickly, go through it now. Localwp.com. Now, the reason why we're using localwp.com is because it gives you the opportunity to work with this platform without using internet. So you can basically work with local hosts, without need to use internet, unless you want to install something or download something. Like that. That's the point of using localhost. So it's localwp.com. I don't even trust my internet right now, so I don't even want to attempt it. But let's.
On this note, we are going to
Trainer,
define
can you hear me?
content writers.
Trainer, can you hear
Yes, I
me?
can hear you, sir.
What the content writers. I'm now going
You can continue. You know, you are recording your class, and those who can catch up can always watch the video later. Is that correct?
Okay, sir. Okay, so
Yeah, you are being
basically,
recorded.
like
So
I was,
yeah, you are being recorded from here. So
yes, that's
doesn't
fine.
matter how many guys are online. You can watch later.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
fine. Okay. All right. So, like as I was talking about the various users that we have different kinds of users, and every user is important when you're building websites. You have to learn to cater for each kind of user that we have. So, if you are working with you want to build an e-commerce website, basically, you should cater for every form of user. The inquirer should be able to come to the website and find what they want at a glance. All right. Buyers should be able to buy conveniently. All right. When I say conveniently, I mean there are some websites you go to and it takes you about 5, 7, 8 pages before you can finally check out, which shouldn't be shouldn't be so. So you have to work to make sure that you cater for the buyer. You have to make sure that you cater for each kind of person. Obviously, we have hierarchy as well. You're working on an e-commerce website. The most important user should be the buyer. So even if you don't build a website for any other person, you should be able to build for at least the buyer. All right, and the buyer is very important. Why? Because this is the reason why we set up that kind of website. We set it up because we want people to actually buy. If you're creating a newsroom, a website for news, for example, the most important type of user there is the reader. All right, so the fonts you use, you need to do a little bit of research on what kind of font fits certain kinds of people. All right. Age is also very important. All right. There's an age range for like when you do your research. When we start talking about research in web design, we're going to cater for all of these things. All right. So like I said before, this is going to be an introductory class, just making us understand what we can expect from this course and how powerful it is. All right. So in the next few weeks, it's just going to be us understanding how websites work. And then when you start working on your projects after that, that's when you can now have a perfect understanding of how it really works. And I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm going to be guiding you. Trust me, when it comes to web design, you can gain about 30% of knowledge from class. The remaining 70% is up to you. All right, that's why I'm going to be available for you even outside of this class. All right, I might share my emails as well. You can always send certain things to me. Your assignments are going to be there. There are going to be a lot of assignments. All right. So sorry for people who are just joining in. Sorry about the internet. So we're going to be showing you all of these things. We're going to be showing you how to build different kinds of websites. All right. That's going to be one of the benefits of this course. So before my internet connection went down the last time, I spoke about how why we're going to be learning HTML and CSS in this course. It's just going to be a bit of it. We're not going to dive deep into it because that's more of web development. We're going to be talking about web design, but we're going to be touching HTML and CSS, just a bit of it. Full trick I want to show you. Let me see if I can share my screen. One second. Okay. Okay, let me try and share my screen so that you can see. Okay, so I want you all to go to any website of your choice. I don't know, can you all see my screen now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want you
Yes,
to
I
click
can.
to any website of your choice. Okay, fantastic. Okay, any website that you can, and you can right click. And when you right click, look for this inspect. right here. This is a very powerful tool that Google Chrome has given us. I think other browsers now support this feature, but I know that Google Chrome always supports this feature. So when you right click, you can see all of these things. Just look for inspect, right? This is first tools that we're going to be working with. So when you right click and you click on inspect, it's going to show you the HTML and CSS of the website, all right? This is why I said it's very important. Whenever building websites, it's not supposed to be this slow. Apologies for the delay. It's supposed to pop up really fast. So what it's going to do is it's going to divide your screen into two portions. So on one portion, you can see the website, and on the other portion, you can see a little bit of coding. All right. This is just the beginning. All right. We're not going to do a lot of coding for as many people who are afraid of coding. I know that a lot of people who choose WordPress. This is one of the most powerful skills in tech, because you can be a tech bro and not even know how to code with good knowledge of WordPress. All right. So on this page, we can see that it has this place is where the code is. This place is where your website is. Now, where your code is divided into two portions. This portion is usually HTML, and this portion beneath is the CSS portion. All right, this is HTML and CSS. If you want to become a front-end developer, all right, this is the first thing you need. A good knowledge of HTML and CSS can make you a very great and wonderful, powerful front-end developer. All right, so this is one of the benefits of the course. I'm not going to push tech into your face, coding into your face. I'm going to ease you into it. All right. So when you look at this, you can see how a web page is structured. All of these things are going to make you understand what it means. So don't be worried about it. But for people who are afraid of coding, let's start with CSS. All right. CSS is more user-friendly. Why did I say so? You can see here, there are readable things that you can see. All right. It just says font size small, the margin bottom 24. All right, this CSS gives you details of everything that you can see here. So if I just right click on this and I inspect it, it would highlight, what was used. Immediately, this is highlighted because I'm inspecting it. So I can see the render size, I can see the font, the file size used. If I want to see the font size used, I can see that. I can see anything, like for example, I can see 14px was used here. I can see the font family that was used. So for example, you're working on a website. Let's say, for example, you've met a client and the client says, oh, I want my website to look like this. Now, noting in mind that you don't want to, plagiarize anybody's website. Yeah. But you need to, pick one or two things from a particular website. This tool would help you to understand basically the basic concept of that website. Now, one of the things I need you to understand is whenever you're building websites are all about using good fonts, good pictures, and making sure that there's a right color blend. All right. So when you go on a website and you want to know, okay, what font did they use? What kind of images did they use? What colors did they use? You have this to help you and assist you to pick that. So when you have a good knowledge of HTML and CSS, it's easier for you to understand some of these things, all right? And then imitate it in your own website. Not imitating the full website. Trust me, you will not even need to imitate the full website. Once we're done with, this training, you would see a lot of websites and they'll start looking ugly to you, all right? That's just how web design works. So basically, this tool is one of the first tools that you're going to learn when you're using this website. All right, so aside that, I just want us to, let me stop sharing for now. Okay, so another important aspect that you need to learn are the types of websites, all right? There are various, not types of websites per se, but like the parts of a website. All right, so when we're dealing with parts of websites, we have various parts of a website, all right? I like to use a website to use to, let me just search for Nigerian news or something. So there are various parts of a website, all right? The very first part is usually like the header section. So I'm going to show you with a website, a proper, let's use Guardian, for example. Daily post. I hope it doesn't take so much time. Let me share my screen again so that you can. Okay. So the various parts of a website that we have, the first part is the header section. All right, the header section is usually the portion of your website that has the home, all these links. It usually has all of these links, and it also has the logo section. So I don't know if can anyone see my screen? So I just like to find out once in a while to make sure that my network is doing fine. Can anyone see my screen?
Not yet.
No, it's not showing yet.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but your screen is not showing yet.
Okay, it's not showing. What about now?
It's not still showing now.
Okay. I was showing that it's sharing. Wow. Okay, I don't know what's wrong. Let me try and stop sharing my screen and share again. Okay, so basically, the first portion of every website is the header section. Now, your header section is usually that portion that has, the logo of the website. It has, the basic buttons. Okay, I think my screen is. Okay, it has the basic buttons and links. Buttons like, how about now? Is it working now? It's showing that it's sharing now.
Yeah, but we're not seeing what you're sharing. It's just up, like it's up already, but we're not seeing what you're sharing.
Okay, can you see now?
It has gone away from there, like it's
Okay,
not showing
I'm
again.
currently on the Guardian newspaper's website. Is it showing that or is it still showing?
It's not even showing that you're sharing screen again.
Okay, maybe we should give it a while. Let's see what it is. Okay. Okay, so basically, while I'm still working on that, the first portion is the header section. All right. You can also take notes because I used to ask questions as well, randomly. So, okay, the first portion is the header section. The header section usually has the logo, and then usually has, the place where you see links leading to about us, contact us, home, it has all of that. Then in some places, it may have like a top bar, highlighting the phone number of the company or the address of the company, things like that. So that's one of the parts of a website. The next part, although I have to still show you because I don't want it to look abstract, you have to also see these things. So as soon as my screen starts, as soon as it shows that it's sharing, just please alert me so I'll take you to the website we're using. So aside that, we
Showing
have
now.
what we
Sorry,
call the
showing now.
hero section. Okay, showing up. Okay. Okay, what can you see now?
I can
Is it
see
showing
the
Guardian
Guardian.
newspaper's website?
Yeah, the Guardian newspaper.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. All right, so this is the first portion of the website. All right, this portion is the header section. Now, from this part, this bottom where we have the search icon, and then we have this, these are links. They lead somewhere, so they are called links. All right, opinion, sports, politics, world, Nigeria, home. All right, this portion up until the very top is called the header section. All right, it always has the logo. So you most times always find your logo in the header section. Then it has like quick links, all right? It has like links to your social media page and all of those things. Now, one of the things that they catered for in this website was they catered for users. Now, one of the reasons why we have these links here is for people who are impatient, all right? So we've talked about types of users in terms of, user types, basically. But there are also types of users in terms of behavior as well. There are people who are impatient users. So we need to cater for all of these kinds of people. That's why I don't know if you were here, if you've been following the class since, even with the bad network, but your first assignment is you have to list 10 different types of users that you know. You can check online and you can ask yourself questions as well. What was the last website I visited? What was the website I visited before then? and what did I do there. We talked about buyers. We talked about, you can even have sellers on your website. For example, people who go on Jumia.com to sell things are the sellers. All right. So we have buyers, we have sellers, we have builders. Those are user types. Also, in terms of behavior, we have patient, we have impatient. All right. So this is a form of catering for impatient readers. For example, you know that I'm coming to the Guardian newspaper to check for just sports. All right. I don't want to start scrolling through the website looking for how I can, find my way to sports. It's just here. I can just come here and go to athletics or boxing or football. All right. So that's one of the reasons why it's good for you to have a good understanding of the type of users you are building a website for. So we've talked about the header. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the footer of the website. Now, the footer of a website is different in different places. For some, it's just an opportunity for me to lead links to, let's say, shortcuts, for example. So if, for example, I want to see everything or all the categories, I can easily come to the footer. All right. It's just a portion of the website that gives you like a brief summary of everything about the website. So a lot of times, if you're an Enquirer, for example, it's always best that you come to the footer. Most times, unlike in this website, for example, you have in the footer a brief summary of what the company is all about. Like, for example, you have a short, you can have the phone number, you can have email, you can have address of the company all in your footer. Then you can also have this follow us links, the social media links as well. Then all of these links as well can be there as well. There are different things you can put in footers. So when we're going to be working on websites, we're going to be talking about the different types of headers and the different types of footers that we have. And we're going to design all these different types so that we can have a perfect understanding of how websites work. So if you were not following, the first thing I said, the first part of the website I said was the header. And the second one I said was the footer. All right, so the next portion of the website is the hero section. Now, the hero section of the website is termed the most important aspect of a website. What exactly is the hero section? All right, so the hero section is that portion of your website that has, the catchy phrases or the catchy, for example, if it's a news website, for example, where you're going to put like the highlights of the day or things that would actually attract you to keep on reading. All right, it's usually in the hero section. Now, the hero section of the website usually is in form of a slider. All right, if you go on different websites, you see it in form of a slider. It's also here. They decided to go with this approach, which is also fine. It's a news platform, but most times in this day and age, a lot of people tend to use sliders for their hero section because sliders are more attractive. All right, they attract people more, but it's not a crime if you decide not to use, sliders for your hero section. All right. So we have the hero section. And then the last portion that we're going to be talking about for now is the body of the website. Now, the body of the website is always broken into different portions. We have this portion, that has like the newsletter portion in most websites. It's called the newsletter portion. It's an opportunity for the web designer to collect data for the company. Because one of the things you need to understand is that data is one of the most important things you can ever have. So you have this newsletter portion of your website so that you can have access to people's emails. So when you put their emails here, you can create your website in such a way that you can send out regular emails to them, updating them about new things. It's a form of advertisement. That's why you need their data, because you want to advertise probably a new good is out, a new dress is out or something. You have a newsletter to be able to do that. So the body of the website as well is also there for us to be broken, but it's going to be broken down into different or into sub parts as we move on. So let me ask my first question. Let me stop sharing first. Okay, so my first question is open to the house. What are the four parts of every website? The four major parts of the website. Does anyone want to answer, or should I point or pick a name? Okay, so okay, let me just go over it one last time. All right, so we have the header section. Okay, Nisi wants to say something. Nisi. Okay, Nisi and Taiwo have raised up their hands. Okay, one second. Okay. Okay, let me just go over it one last time. So we have the header section, we have the body of the website, we have the hero section, which is the most important part of every website. Well, maybe it's my preference, but the hero section, and then we have the footer section. So we're going to be working on each one of these parts of your website as time goes on. All right. So we're going to be looking at different types of websites. So one of the things we're also going to have to learn is we have to learn good design and bad design. All right, there's a difference. One of the things that makes you a very good web designer is your ability to understand the difference between a good design and a bad design. Okay, sorry. Okay, Nisi, would you like to say something?
Asking a question. Can you hear me? I wanted to ask you a question. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, fine. You said you made mention of four parts
Yes, I can hear you. You can go ahead.
of a website. You made mention of the header, which has the logo.
Okay,
You made
go
mention
ahead.
of the footer. I want to know the number 3. Is it heel or how?
Yes, I
Is
can
it
hear you.
Is it H-I-double-L?
Yes. Okay, the number 3 is the hero section. All right, it's called hero. No, the hero, Hero. That's the hero section.
Okay.
Hero.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you get that?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Yes. So we have the hero section. Okay. Then we also have the body section as well. So those are the 4 major parts of every website. The body section is subdivided into parts. Right? We're going to talk about. You're welcome. We're going to talk about the body section separately in a new course day when we're talking about web design in full. Okay. Okay. So let me just give you an understanding of what else we're going to be working with. Because one of the things I like to do is on the first day, I like to run you through everything that you're going to learn. I like preparing your mind for the worst, the best and worst. Then as you go, tends to become a bit more easy. So a lot of things might seem a bit abstract, but when we start working on it, you're going to, it's going to sound more familiar because you've heard about it already. All right, so when we work with WordPress, now one of the things that WordPress uses is WordPress uses themes and plugins. All right, it uses these 2 things to help you achieve your goal. What is your goal? Design a website. So a theme is just basically like a template. All right, you have the opportunity to pick from over 1,000 templates, all right, to build a website. So for example, if I want a hospital website, for example, all I need to do is just look for a hospital theme. And this gives me the opportunity to pick, over 1,000 themes, and I can modify it the way I want. All right. If I want a theme for any type of business, what it basically allows me to do is that it allows me select different kinds of designs, different kinds of, styles, and I can pick those different styles and then modify it and turn it into something that can actually work for me. All right, that fits into what your client wants. Because aside from building a website with users in mind, one of the most important people when you're building a website is the client that you're working for. So if, for example, I'm building a website, all right, I have to build it to the taste of my clients. Now, one of the things that I know for a fact is that sometimes clients don't necessarily know what exactly it is they need. They may know what they want, but they don't know what they need. So it's your duty to educate them. All right. So one of the things you're going to be able to do at the end of this course is you're going to know what is wrong and what is right. All right. So it's your duty to educate them. I, for example, have worked on a website for a client who didn't really pay attention to pictures. All right. The pictures that she sent to me were just, basic pictures. She felt, oh, can I just send them through WhatsApp? Do you understand? Oh, because I don't have strength to start sending them through emails and certain things like that. Can you hear me? Okay, so sorry about that once again. All right, okay, so like I was saying before, you have to be able to know what is wrong and what is right. For example, when you're working with pictures, all right, you need the best quality you can get. All right, so one of the things you have to do is you have to be able to advise your clients at any point in time, whether it's in terms of pictures, it's in terms of text, it's in terms of anything. You have to make sure that they have a perfect understanding of why you want them to do what is right, as opposed to what is actually wrong. All right. This is very important when you're building websites because at the end of the day, it is you that is responsible for making that website a success. Now, rule number one when you're working with websites is you must always build a website that is a representation of the person's actual brand. For example, you don't expect to be using, a different color code or a different color from the actual brand. Oh, this color looks beautiful. No, you have to actually work with their colors. You have to work with, if they have a logo, you have to work with their logo. You have to work with the same text. Let there be some form of uniformity all through the website. All of these things are actually necessary when you're building a website. All of these rules are going to be, talked about as time goes on. So the first thing we all need to do is we have to start by going to localwp.com. I don't know if we've all done that. Let me see as well if I can go to localwp.com. So why are we doing this? Like I said before, we're doing this because this allows us to work with WordPress offline. All right, so that you don't need to start using a lot of your data. You can work with WordPress offline. Let me share my screen as well so that you can see what I'm talking about why it's necessary. So let me see if I can walk you through the process of installing this. We can't really get having this installed. It works on almost every system, but if your system is having a little difficulty setting this up, then you might have to, use an online medium to get started. Okay, so my screen is sharing. Can anyone see my screen now? I just want to make sure everyone can see my screen. All right, so basically this is the first portion that you will be working, the first that you're going to be working with, localwp.com. All right, when you come to this website, you can, either create an account or download for free, or you can click on this button as well. It has a very straightforward setup. Okay, so it's going to basically ask you what platform do you want to work with. So I'm working with, and click on Windows, and it's taking me to this particular form. So it tells me to pick. So I'm going to input my details. So I'm going to put my name here. So you're going to put your name. You can put your name here, and you can mail here and your phone number as well. Done with. You can set up. I already have an account, so I'm not going to be able to do this. So the moment you do that, you can click on now. Start downloading. If it doesn't start downloading, so it takes you through some steps, and it's going to download immediately on your page. It has a very straightforward way of
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Hello, we can't hear you at all. We can't just hear you at all.
Okay, so I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me share my screen again. All right, so basically we need to work with, I don't know if you heard me from local WP. Did you hear me talk about local WP, or should I talk about it again? Mrs. Smith, you can go ahead. You can talk.
I think the last part I heard was where you said we should log in, we should sign up. But since you have an account already, you can't
Okay.
sign up again. That was the last thing I heard.
Okay. Okay, so basically just local WP, go to localwp.com, download for free, just fill in your details, and all right, it's going to give you the opportunity to download it. Once you downloaded it, you can install it. It's just going to ask you if you want to make changes if you wanted to make changes to your computer. Yes, you can click on yes. So it's actually straightforward. But if you have any challenges installing it, you can also let me know as well. All right. So moving from there, I decided to talk about theme forest. So basically, one of the things that I said earlier was that WordPress allows
Please,
you
I want
to.
to say, I want to ask a question, please.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Please, I want to know if there is any recorded version of this, so that at least someone can be able
Yes.
to make use of it.
Yes.
Please. Okay.
Yes, it's going to be recorded. It's being recorded.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing is, one of the things I said earlier was that WordPress allows you to use two major themes or two major concepts. It allows you to use themes and plugins. So what are themes? Themes are basically templates of your design. All right. So you want to build a website, for example, you need a theme to allow you to decide the templates. What do I mean by templates? All right. I'm going to show you what themes are right now. But plugins, on the other hand, are just, they're extensions that help you to perform certain functions on your website. So if you want to add a new functionality to your website, what you need is a plugin. So for example, I want to add WhatsApp chat to my website. I just need to look for a plugin for that, and I'll be able to do that. So plugin just helps you add additional functionality to your website, while a theme just allows you to, design a template. It gives you an already designed template that you can work with and continue working with. All right, so this is my screen. I hope you can see my screen. So one of the things I Googled was theme forest. Theme forest. You can just Google theme forest WordPress theme. You can Google it, and then it's going to take you to themeforest.net, which is the website. Or you can just go to themeforest.net and you can search. You see a search icon, and you can search for e-commerce. I picked e-commerce because e-commerce is one of the most popular kinds of websites you would ever see. Most people who own stores, or most entrepreneurs, they'll sell something, they sell one thing or the other. So we have e-commerce websites for almost every form of e-commerce business these days. And most of the websites I've ever created using WordPress have been e-commerce websites. So I'm going to show you how to build e-commerce websites. All right. So the first thing I actually need when I'm building a website is I need themes. Now, a lot of these themes, I have gotten them already. I have purchased some of them, and because I purchased them, I'm going to be giving them to you for free. So you're going to be getting a lot of these themes. So you're not going to have to worry about payment of all of these things. It's when you have now probably worked on like 5, 6, 7 themes of your own, or 5, 6, 7 websites of your own, and you start making money, then you can now start purchasing things as as your business keeps growing. So when the client comes and says, "Oh, I don't want this thing that you have, I want another one," you can charge them for it. You can also add this to your charging fee. Oh, the theme costs $47. This is, a breakdown of the cost. You can also add how much it is that you charge for yourself as well. I'm going to be telling you how much I charge, and I'm going to be telling you how much I hear people charge as well. There are very popular websites that you can also go to and sell your market, because you can make money. One of the things I said earlier was you're going to learn how you can monetize this skill. All right. So let's work on any of this website. So for example, I want to look for a theme I can work to, just so that you can see how WordPress actually works. So basically, what you need to do is purchase this Panda store theme, and it's going to give me a whole lot of designs that I can work with. So each theme comes with so many designs. Let me look at Panda Store again. Panda Store is basically for food and grocery e-commerce. All right. So if I'm working on probably like a food and grocery e-commerce website, I can just use Panda's theme. It just gives me a foundation, all right, for me to then design what exactly it is that I want to design. All right. So Panda is going to take a bit because my network is a bit slow today. Okay, so it's loading. All right. So when I click on templates, you can also do this, because this is always advisable, so that you can have an idea of what a good design is and what a bad design is. So now this Panda store has 10 different demos. All right, it's a theme, but it comes with demos. Now a demo is just basically designs you can work with. So let's check the first one, for example. So I can just right click and open in a new tab. Let me click another one as well, and this one. So I'm going to be using this to show you the different parts within the body that I did not discuss with you earlier. So we use this to talk about the various kinds of the website, the various parts of the website. Okay, so the Panda store has, and once you purchase this particular theme for $19, you have design at your disposal. You have the ability to work as a ready made. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this portion is usually the hero section. All right, this is the hero section. This is the header just above it. It has the logo, it has the links, and usually has contact forms. We're going to see it when my internet decides to, come alive. But for now, let me be sure that okay. I hope I'm still live. I hope you can still hear me. Okay, so this basically is the hero section of this particular website. Also the hero section. This is also the hero section. This is also a header. It's a top bar. All the names, all the terminology, you're going to have to familiarize yourself with it, because you become a tech person, a tech pro. Coding tech skill, but it's always best in practice that you learn a little bit of coding. We're going to learn that in this course. It's really taking a long time to load some of these pages. So basically, this is one of the importances of using a theme. So when you installed your local WP, we're going to have to work with what we have, and we're going to have to, work on the dashboard. So ahead of the next class, one of the things that you're going to learn is you're going to learn how a WordPress dashboard operates. All right, different portions of the WordPress dashboard, how we can use the WordPress dashboard, how we can work with the WordPress dashboard, and we're going to implement some of these things instantly in our next class. So ahead of our next class, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a blog, and you're going to be working on your first project. So I'm going to show you how to build a blog, after which you're going to all go and build a blog for yourself. So in terms of assignments for this course, when you do an assignment, every assignment you do, you're going to have to forward it to my email. And if you have any issues as well, the email is going to be shared with you. If you have any issues as well, you can forward it to my email. I'm always available. One of the things I appreciate people who reach out to me at the end of the class, like, oh, I tried this out, it didn't work. You can send it to me, you can send the video to me, you can show me what it is that you've done. So you can always do that to, send that to me. You can send a video of what you've worked with your local host, and oh, this is what I did, this is what I've done so far. For example, the local host assignment as well. All right. If you get stuck, feel free to send a video of where you are. If you've done it and you've completed it, feel free to send a video of where you are as well. One of the reasons why is because one of the things I know for a fact is that people learn differently at different paces. All right. So it's very important that you don't let other people, determine how fast or how slow you go. If you're a very fast learner, go at your pace. All right. I've learned this, I've moved on to the next one. What should I do next? All right. If you're a slow learner, that's fine. I'm going to be here. We're going to be patient with you. I'm a slow learner as well. So I understand what it means to be a slow learner. And I know how to handle slow learners as well. So what I'm saying is, if you're a really fast learner, you don't have to wait one whole week before you move on to the next phase. You can easily start working on the next phase of your website as early as today, as early as tomorrow. As long as you've done the local host assignment, you sent in an assignment to the various kinds of users that we have, you are good enough to move on to the next level, the next assignment, which is the blog assignment, which I'm going to show you how to do so that when we come here for the next class, everyone has a basic understanding of the blog. And this is going to determine, now I'm ready to teach you from now till next year. I'm ready to teach you all the things I know about WordPress. All right. But I have a limited time. All right. So we need to make sure that we use that limited time very well. So it means that you need to learn and you need to have great understanding of everything within this period so that you can, achieve even bigger things with WordPress. Now, a bit of closing statement, or should I say a closing remark, or a word of motivation. All right. So how I started WordPress was I started WordPress when I was still in school. I was basically trying to make extra cash. All right. So I used to bring in WordPress jobs, and I had somebody who used to do it. I used to split the money. But one of the things I realized was that WordPress was easy. It was very easy to do, and you can do a website minimum of 2 days. Or let's say even a day, depending on how fast you are. You can create a WordPress website for a user in 1 day. So I started learning it, a little by little. And when I started learning it, I started doing jobs of like 100,000. Did websites for a couple of people. I charged them like 100,000 for a website, and in 2 days I'm done, and I've made my money. I move on to the next one. So once you have an idea of how to monetize your skill, you can be making good money in good time. That's one of the reasons why people love WordPress. It's easy to use, so it means that you don't really have to spend a long time working with WordPress. You can spend just a few days working with WordPress, and you're moving on to the next job. So if you have 10 jobs and you say, oh, I can finish all the jobs in 2 weeks, all right, it is possible for you to do that, make your money, move on to the next one. So that's one of the benefits of WordPress, all right? Another benefit is that WordPress has actually made me to meet people, all right? I've created websites for a lot of people that I probably would never have met if I didn't have the skill. I've been able to make websites for a few people. And, it's a good impression when you come out and you say, oh, I make websites for people. Do you need a website for your brand? And you can easily make a website for them. It helps you with networking. So it has really helped me with networking as well. So it's a very good benefit for it. So when you're learning this course, don't just learn it with a closed mind and say, oh, I just want to learn this so that I can put it on the side. Because I had a few people who they didn't really want to learn it. They just wanted to learn it for the sake of learning. You can do that as well, but trust me, there are many benefits of learning this skill, and you can monetize greatly from this website. You can check websites like, there's so many websites you can check, but basically you can monetize this in many ways. There are plenty of websites where you can put your skill or service up, and people will reach out to you so that you can create certain websites for them. All right, you can create websites for them anywhere in the world. All right. I've been able to work with international clients as well through web design with WordPress. All right. So that's one of the benefits of learning this skill. So don't have a closed mind to it. Open your mind. The opportunities are limitless. One of the days that we're going to spend 1 hour talking about the benefits of this course and how it can help you greatly in achieving all the things that you want to do. Because like I said, it is one thing to learn a skill, it's another thing to monetize it. So get ready to monetize your skill. You're going to be working on a lot of websites because at the end of this project, you should be strong enough to work on any kind of website for anybody. So you'll be working on about 3 or probably 4 projects, and you have to pass all 4 projects. You pass all of them by force. So this was a great first class. Apologies for the network issues. I'm going to make sure that ahead of the next class, my network is fixed for sure. I'm going to work on that as well. And because of how the class went, please feel free to reach out to me personally as well if you have any issues. I'm going to have to confirm with the organizers if I can drop my email. Then when I confirm, I would drop my email so that you can send your assignments and you can also reach me personally for any questions. I'm ready to answer any kind of question you throw at me regarding WordPress. All right. So on that note, I'm going to end the class here. So I'm going to see you in the next class, which will be communicated to you. I hope it was a good first class to you as well as it was for me, apart from the network issues, of course. So thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you very much.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Does anyone have any
Thank you so
questions?
much. The question is, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Please, I would like to know when we are going to get access to the video, possibly, the recorded video.
To the what? Sorry, come again.
To get access to the recorded item.
Okay, I'm not very sure when it's going to be available. I don't know if I can get any help, but I'm sure it's going to be communicated to you today. I don't know if it's going to be available today, but I know they will reach out to you regarding that. I'll confirm and we'll reach out to you today regarding the recorded.
Oh, okay.
version.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Taiwo, you can go ahead. I see your hand is raised.
Yeah, all right. I really appreciate your class. It was very, very fantastic, if not for the issue of the
Yes.
network. But
Thank you very
making
much.
use of the local WP
Yes.
WordPress or something, I didn't really get that very particular aspect of the class very well, owing to the network issue.
Network.
I don't know how we're going to do that. Probably you can just in like 3 minutes or so quickly recap, or maybe in the next class. I wouldn't mind. It depends on your time now.
Okay.
Thank
Okay, what
you.
I'll
That's
do
my opinion.
is, okay, regarding the local WP, I want you guys to try it first before I now come in. What I want everyone to do is just go to localwp.com. So when you go there, it's going to ask you to download for free. When you download for free, you're going to have a pop-up or a form come out, and it's going to ask you to fill in your details. The reason why I want you guys to do it by yourselves is because one of the things that you have to learn is you have to learn to use Google as a tool. You have to learn to use a lot of these platforms, ask them questions, there are answers everywhere. And you are now officially a tech bro and a tech, tech leader as well. So you need to start working with tech tools. All right. So once you've tried it, if you have any issue, and I drop my email, you can reach out to me. When you have an issue, I would send you a video of how to install it. But I want you to try first to install it. So I'll try and work on a video on how to install it. Just go to localwp.com and try your possible best to install it. Once you've installed it, let me know. I'll tell you what next to do. But if you have issues installing it as well, let me know. I would show you a video. I would record a video of myself installing it. I would uninstall it and install it again. I record it this time and I will send it to your email. So just give it an attempt first. Just go to localwp.com and give it a go. Try as much as possible to install it yourselves. Does that work, Mr. Taiwo?
Yeah, all right. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, so that'll be all. Thank you all for the class. Any other questions, you can feel free to ask. Okay, in the absence of none, that'll be all for now. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for staying to the very end.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.